place is buzzing. There's just so many people out there. I know who I am as a mother or as a daughter or whatever, as a person. Basically, I have to catch on everything that's happening in the industry. Somebody was saying to me that, your work is so good but it doesn't reach enough. Well, maybe it should have happened, I don't know, but no regrets actually. This has just been like a dream year for me, really. To be able to portray that is a tough one. Definitely, you take a risk, your image and everything. Somebody said that would you work with him, and I was like, why not? I think he's a very good actor. And I'm here to enjoy cinema.
Well, Chitrangda Singh is in our office. The moment she just entered our office, one of my colleagues told me, she is beautiful. And I just had one answer, yes, she is. Pleasure having you on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you so much. This is my first time, actually.
How was the experience of being in this office? And
It's great. I had no idea. The place is buzzing. There's just so many people out there. Right. It's a very busy office, I have to say, and there's great buzz in this place.
Do you log on to Bollywood Hungama often?
Yes, I do.
So what all do you see on that?
I basically have to catch on everything that's happening in the industry. Because you don't always get to see it on TV, you miss it sometimes. So I think Bollywood Hungama is probably one of the best kind of very complete place where you can get everything, whether you want reviews or whatever you want to see. So everything is all together and it's perfect. I think I'm selling your this thing too much.
We don't mind that. We don't mind that.
But it's actually wonderful. Yeah, it's a great site.
The fact is that you've been around for some time and you've done some really commendable work, which has been appreciated critically a lot. But Desi Boyz will be the first film where your personality and your face will be recognized by a much more wider audience.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It feels very good, because somebody was saying to me that your work is so good but it doesn't reach enough. So I think the numbers are huge. The masses will watch, which is a test also to see how well do you do with the masses, because it's easier to probably please a certain number of people and certain kind of cinema goers. So it's a bit of a test for me, but I'm very excited to see what happens and what's the reaction of the people.
Generally, you've been so far associated as an actress, thinking man's sex symbol and a cerebral actress and stuff like that. But at a recent function, Akshay Kumar just totally twirled you and swirled you all around. And it seems that you're part of this context perfectly. You've always been a good looker, but now it seems that it should have happened long time back.
Oh, well. I don't know if it should have happened well, maybe it should have happened, I don't know, but no regrets actually, just the way things have turned out for me. I think movies found me more than me finding them for me, so it somehow chose me, which is great. And so did Desi Boyz to quite an extent, and so far, everything has just worked out so beautifully. I think this is kind of a natural progression for me to now get into this, and it does feel very comfortable. And you're right, I think all of that antics and whatever happened, it was all in great humor and it was all good fun, and I was enjoying it, and it's just good to be here, really.
I think now you're taking it to the next level. You're doing an item song in a movie now very soon?
Yes, I am.
So how does that feel? Kafirana and all it's called?
Kafirana.
Kafirana.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Wow, it feels like something else. I think this is far more than I could have asked for in 1 year. Right. It has just been a fabulous ride.
Ye Saali Zindagi released
released in February. And then after that I've finished 3 films, and then at the end of it, this is almost like the cherry on my cake, to get number with Farah and for her home production and a song like that. It's a fantastic song, and to get choreographed by her. This has just been like a dream year for me, really. We'll
talk about Desi Boyz, but a couple of your performances. One is Sorry Bhai, as well as Ye Saali Zindagi, which has come this year. There's an element of coquettishness in your character, both the character. And how did that feel? Because it's like a very, in a way, like a greyish character. At the same time, it's like very convincing as well. It's very human.
Yeah, I think the reason why I would play those characters is because I feel when you sit across and Sudhir talks to you about these characters, he's so convinced about the fact that it is not got anything to do with being right or wrong. It's about being honest about how you feel at that moment. With Sorry Bhai also, I was totally convinced because I think the girl was being far more honest about how she felt than being selfish.
जलते हैं चलते हैं संग संग मेरे खामोशी आहें अंधेरे.
You know, it's just the way you look at it. I think what is not comfortable for us to accept socially is given a bad name, even though it may be true or it may come out of a very honest intention. So I think to be able to portray that is a tough one. Definitely, you take a risk, you know, your image and everything.
Right.
But it's challenging and it's so much fun. Like even you're right with Ye Saali as well. The girl is, you're right. It's a bit grey, you know, where she's after one man and then she leaves him right at the end and she falls for the man that
and the way the character uses Irfan Khan is fantastic because he's supposed to be a bad guy as well.
She would do anything at that point because she's so much in love with the other man that she would use anyone to save him. And I think that is a kind of honesty, you know, in the love that she felt for that man at that time. You know, I mean, I would do that. I would use anybody I could possibly if I have to save the person that I'm in love with. So I thought that dimension of love was very interesting than just the usual, oh, I hold your hand and you hold mine and, you know, we love each other.
Right.
So I think it's interesting to play something different and I always would, you know, go to that as well.
क्या चीज़ है जो आदमी और औरत को साथ साथ बांधे रखती है? Love, sex. उसे जब देखा तो लगा कि बस यही है.
But for now, I think the Desi Boyz are rocking.
Fantastic. That is a hint कि अभी बहुत हो गई बात उसके बारे में. Desi Boyz पे आ जाइए. Okay, we'll come to Desi Boyz. I have one more question pertaining to the context of your earlier films. There is this element of sensuality in your performances and boldness in your characterization as well. India we tend to be like very traditional and once a girl gets married and एक certain तरीके की चीजें ही आप कर सकते हैं. We have those parameters and all. How do you deal with those stereotypes and those kind of expectations which tend to happen?
I think there are all ways of dealing with it. Either you deal with them practically, or you get all emotional and, you know, sentimental about it.
Sure.
I think the fact is that I've chosen this as my work. I love it. I love it more than ever, especially after having taken those 4 years off.
Really?
I love it even more to have come back. And I don't think just because certain people have certain views on morality or how one should be, and you know, and mostly they make you feel inadequate no matter what you do. Whether you have a job as an actress or you have a job as a CEO of a company,
sure,
they would still make you feel inadequate as a mother or whatever.
Right.
So I don't think that is something that you need to, you know, give up your passion for, and I don't want to. I know who I am as a mother or as a daughter or whatever, as a person, and I think that's for myself, you know, and I'm here to enjoy cinema, which I love. And I wouldn't give up this thrill for anything.
Apparently, Prateik has said somewhere as well that he reminds you, you remind him of a mother.
Yeah.
And I think in one of the interviews today, you have said that it will be great if you guys can be paired together because that will definitely be a very interesting pairing or something.
Well, somebody said that would you work with him, and I was like, why not? I think he's a very good actor. I loved him in Dhobi Ghat. He's very natural with his, you know, this thing, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it would be interesting to work with him. Yeah, I do look like his mother, though.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think so.
There's a likeness, probably. Yeah.
No, I think that cinema is all about, I think, make believe, and I don't think so.
We just have to act.
You just have to act.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Mother तो बहुत दूर की बात है आपकी. You look 25 in fact. Now talking about Desi Boyz, it has a very typical kind of feel to it that these guys, they turn male escorts because of certain reasons in their life and certain situations in their life. You know. When the story was narrated to you, how did you just react to it? Considering that you have a certain sort of sensibilities, like you work with the Sudhir Mishra and other people who have certain amount of...
It's definitely a bit of a leap, you know, from what I'm doing, in the sense that it's not like I would still expect a similar kind of a storyline. I know this is for the masses. I know this is different. I know this is fun, you know, so it has to be written a certain way and it has to be a certain kind of film. And I think it has all the ingredients. It probably needs to be a commercial hit. I can say that for myself, as much as it sounds like a cliche at the moment.
Right.
But I really think so, you know, because it has all that comedy, all that madness. But I think there's so much of drama and emotional tracks that are running in the film. Unfortunately, you don't see much in the promos at the moment, but there is so much of that as well. And I think Rohit has done a fabulous job of keeping a very good balance, you know, with the two things. I was pretty convinced, you know. I mean, what you see about them being pole dancers is just a desperate act, you know, that they go out and try out to do when they lose their jobs to recession. But there's so much more in the film.